welcome. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Iteron. So the Iteron is a settler class ship. This means that it needs to have a cargo hold, an infirmary, and a workshop, and be entirely Class A while requiring 0 points in starship design. Now, most of my settler class ships are designed more for a family of 4, or maybe a little bit above that, to go and start a new homestead on some far distant world. The Iteron takes this a step further. This is not designed for a family to go homestead. This is more designed for a crew to go and set up an outpost on some new world. Um, so again, rather than it being a small crew, this ship alone has space for, if I remember, 27 or 29 passengers, and that's assuming that you aren't hot bunking. So this would basically go out and provide all the crew that you would need to go ahead and start your mining operation or whatever, and then other ships would come along to do more the hauling the cargo, bringing stuff in and out as needed. So let's go ahead and start with an interior tour as the sun sets on my settlement, or my outpost. So you can see we are first initially entering through this Tayo lander, and we immediately enter into a 3x2. This is going to be the Hope Tech mess hall. So immediately there's a ladder here, and then there's a table for 4, and then some benches that can accommodate another 12 people. So we can feed 16 people at a time. Coming on over here, let's just start in the back and work our way front. So first things first, we have our infirmary directly in from the front. So if anybody gets injured, it's a quick path straight on in here. And you can see we do have a window located at the back of this ship. Then coming on over here, let's start over here first. We have a nice little bench area and a big TV, so you can go ahead and enjoy a little bit of movie night after you have finished working for the day. We have a door right here, and this is entering into the first of 2, and this is going to be a Tayo 3x2 cargo hold. If you do want to build this ship and make better use of this space, you can use an empty cargo hold, and by doing that, all this stuff will disappear, and you can instead fill it with boxes, so that way you can actually store things in here. However, doing that is also probably going to want to put ladders up, so I would only use that if you are using the Place Doors Yourself mod. So we have the door right there leading to the mess hall, and then the door right here is leading to an armory. So this is going to be the Tayo Armory, and I used the Tayo specifically so that way I could guarantee that I had the door right here and not coming in off the mess hall on one of these sides here. We've got a small amount of space for equipment, but not a whole lot. We also have a brig here, which is honestly probably going to be more like the drunk tank for the crew. And then a little bit more storage back here. Coming back into the mess hall, here we come into the kitchen. Got a nice big bar to work at here. Another bar right here. Here is our cooking station. Coming around here, we have 2 refrigerators right over here, and then another cooking station as well as the sink. Coming through this door, we've got another 3 refrigerators, and then a door right here, which is leading into the second 3x2 cargo hold hab. Then, immediately around the corner here, here is our workshop. So if you are going ahead and you are building anything out for your outpost, you have all the things that you would need to go ahead and do so right here. Do note that uh, the only two pieces that are missing from this particular hab are the research lab and the pharmaceutical lab, and those are both located in the infirmary right back over here. So you have everything that you would need to craft anything that you would want right here on this first level. Next up, we have our ladder that goes up. This ship is 3 floors tall, so let's first jump into this one. Alright, so the immediate thing that we get to right here is going to be a 1x1 companionway, and we notice that we are using every single door that we possibly can, or access point. So, speaking of that, let me just go and open all these doors. So at the back of the ship, this is going to be the Tayo 2x1 all-in-one berth, which you can see gives us 4 bunks right here, a bathroom, and then a private galley if you would want to use that. Then coming around to the left here, we have a Tayo all-in-one berth 2x2. So this one has some cargo hold space, some tables. Right around the corner here, we have a door that is leading to 4 more bunks. We have another bathroom located right over here. And then we have another slightly larger galley. On the back right here, we have another Tayo 2x1 all-in-one berth. Again, here's another 4 bunks. So if you're counting, we are up to 12 so far. Then coming forwards, we open this door, and you can see we are entering into the Stroud 3x1 all-in-one berth. This gives us another 4 bunks, so we are up to 16 bunks, and then another small galley. And then right over here, you can see they have another bathroom. Coming back around here, this is the center line of the ship, and this is going to be the Tayo captain's quarters. You'll notice that I'm making a lot of use of Tayo parts on this ship, and it is primarily because I can go ahead and get the habs that do not have the side access, so that way I can control where the doors are being placed on this ship. And we are up to 17 bunks so far. Coming in here, we'll just ignore this hab for a quick moment while we see yet another Tayo 2x1 all-in-one. So we are now up to 21 beds. Right here we have the Nova 2x2 living quarters. So we have another large TV right here. Sadly, the couches that are normally arrayed right here get removed if you have a door right here. So nothing there. We have another 2 beds located here, so up to 23. The best reason for this hab is this pool table right here. And then there's another bathroom right over here. Then for the final hab on this floor, we have another Stroud 3x1 all-in-one berth. So this is going to get us up to 27 beds. Then, coming back in here, it's basically this entire floor is the living quarters. And here is the controls of the ship. So we have the dockering access right here. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and put the docker at the bottom in case you wanted to go ahead and just have easy access for all the cargo. But I couldn't make up my mind on where I wanted that. This here is the control hab, and this one is going to be another Tayo hab, just because I've already used so many Tayo pods on the ship. And then we have the door leading into the Tayo cockpit. Yay, even more Tayo. Taking a look around, this is the interior tour of the entire ship. So let's go ahead and see how we build it. And use the jump jets to not hurt my legs, because ladders suck. But despite my dislike of ladders, you can see that ship has one central ladder that everything goes through, which could be an upside or a downside. Alright, so for this ship, no mods are needed to build this ship. I am using mods, uh, but they aren't required for building this. They will affect other things like my ship count. However, as you can see, I am making use of the ship flip glitch right there. So let's go ahead and dive on in. And then, as usual, I'm going to... Actually, let's go ahead and do a quick pause, and I'm going to just get my colors in my palette. If you are not familiar, you can go ahead and choose your colors, and then when you hit enter, I can go ahead and hit J again. You'll notice that those three colors are showing up right here. This is a way that you can take colors from, a ship or a component to a new ship or component. And now when I hit J again, you can see this was my center colors and this is my side colors. And note, it is always going to go ahead and do color 1, color 2, color 3, unless you have two of the colors that are exact matches. Alright, so now that colors are in my palette, I'm going to go ahead and select all and then delete. So for building this ship, I am building this at my outpost landing pad. I do have a mod that unlocks all the parts that I have unlocked for my character at my outpost landing pad. However, you can always go out and get all the pieces from wherever you would need them, which in this ship is primarily Tayo, Astroneering, and then what's it called? New Homestead on Titan. It's going to be the primary areas that I need to visit. Oh yes, and then also Polvo for the mess hall. So, as I usually do, let's start with the habitable areas of the ship. So I have the landing bay right here. And then I'm going to come on down to the Hope Tech 2x3, and I'm choosing the mess hall here. And I want to go ahead and have that centered right there. Straight back from that, I do want to go ahead and grab my 2x1, which is going to be, I believe this was a Tayo. Was this Nova Galactic? Oh no, this was the Yeah, this was the Stroud Infirmary. You can use whatever variant you want for this one. It's not going to connect to other portions of the ship. Now, coming on over here, on either side of this, I'm going to go ahead and select the Tayo 2x3 cargo hold bottom A. Now, I chose the bottom A so that way there wouldn't be side connections. For this particular component, I'm not connecting anything on the side, but I had been experimenting with putting a companionway right there to allow access to the rest of the ship. However, the companionway there leading up then also led it to want you to walk up and go over and then go down to enter the mess hall, and I just got too irritated, so I removed that piece. Something to consider though if you were using the Play Stores Yourself mod. So we've got the two cargo holds right there and right there. And then on the backs of these, I'm going to place the armory and the workshop. Which side it is really doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer, but these do need to be the Tayo all-in-one bottom A's. And the reason is so that way we don't have that side connections and have the mess hall trying to put side connections into these pieces. And this one is going to be the workshop. And this is it for the bottom floor. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to place our favorite companionway right here. Looks like I used the Taio mid companionway. This ship had been heavily Taio parts from the start, so I tended to just default to Taio if I wanted anything. Now then, coming in right here, off the back of the companionway, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the Taio all-in-one top berth A. And the reason I'm doing this piece right here is because I do not want side connections to form some sort of maze between this and the neighboring berths. Coming on over here now, on this side, I'm going to be placing the Nova Galactic 2x2 living quarters. Now, technically, I could go ahead and put this on either side, but if I put this on this side, then that Stroud all-in-one berth, which is extending off here, would be coming off of the pool table that's located right here, and I want the pool table more than I want the couches in front of the TV over here. Next up, on this side, I'm going back to my Taio components. And for this one, I want the all-in-one top berth B, because I do need the side connections. And then since it wants to default to there, I'm going to push it forward. Now, I've rebuilt the ship a few times, and it has always put that door right there. However, it's always possible that the game will decide to go ahead and just stick some ladders in and have that be the way that you access it, depending upon how you're putting things. Next up, right here, I'm going to go ahead and choose the Taio Top B all-in-one berth. I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one there. Here I'm choosing the B because I do need the side access ports to go ahead and attach structural components to the side of this. And because this one is an A variant, it will not connect through here. Then, on the front of each of these, I'm going to go ahead and choose the Stroud all-in-one 3x1. Then finally, off the front of this, I'm going to go ahead and choose the Taio bottom A, and this one's going to be my captain's quarters. I'm again using the A to ensure that I have the connection for this right here, and not forming some sort of maze with these other components. Moving on now, off the top of the companionway, I want to go ahead and choose the top berth A, and this one is going to be the control station. And then in front of this is going to be my cockpit. And here I am using the Shogun cockpit simply because this is the best Taio one that you can get without needing Starship design. Alright, now the last thing I need to do is come in here and add my docker. And you can see I did use the Taio Extend Port 200. I could just as easily use the Slim Docker. It does not really matter. The Slim Docker does take a little bit less mass for a little bit more money. So do whatever you want. I will note that this ship was at the mass limit for being able to still jump with 27 light years jump range, using a grav drive that does not require Starship design. So saving that to mass there could allow for, say, some more viewports. But I'm going to just go ahead and assemble it as I had it originally. Now then, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add my landing gear. So looking at the bottom of the ship, I'm going to be putting landing gear on each of these 4 pieces. And for that, I want the pinpoint 4G. There we go. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and add my reactor. And for this ship, I use the 134 mm. You could use the 360T Stellarator, but that is 5 more mass, and as I mentioned, I was hitting my mass limits. Next up, my grav drive. I'm going to come right over here, and I'm going to grab the Helios 300. Again, I could use the R3000, but that is 4 more mass. Let's see here. Next thing is going to be my fuel. I had fuel over on this side, and in this ship I use the Titan 550 HE3 tank, just located it right here. On this side right over here, I'm going to go ahead and place my shield. For this ship I did use the, where was it? The 30S protector shield generator. So you can place that either right here, or you can put that right there. As you can see, I could go ahead and use the SG30 instead. That has to come off the side. Again, a little bit more mass, but also a little bit less, a little bit more shield. Both of these components are going to be hidden soon. Coming back here, I'm going to start adding a little bit of structural components, specifically the Nova Cowling. And I want to flip that and place that right there. And now that that is in place, I'm going to add my engines. So for this ship, I'm using 4 Ares DT30 engines. However, as you can see, with where it's located, I could very easily use either the Ammon engines, or I can go ahead and use, say, White Dwarf, whatever variant I would want. So if you have a different appearance that you like, engine you like more, use that. Alright, so now that my engines are in place, all that's left to do is add all of these structural components. And of course the weapons. So speaking of weapons, let's add our weapon mounts. So this is just going right in here, and since I'm here anyways, let's just go to our weapons. And for this particular ship, I just slapped on 4 Disruptor 3000s. You could very easily use any other weapon that you want. Alright, then I'm going to come right here and I'm going to add a porthole. Alright, moving on to the sides. Over here, I'm going to come on over to the cargo hold tab, and I'm putting on 4 of these Caravel V101 cargo holds. You could also use the Ballast 200 CMs. They are slightly more mass, 4 more per one. So if you decide that you want the other variants, you would need to find a way to save some mass somewhere else. Okay, and these are all going to be hidden under some structural components. Next up, coming up to the front of the ship, I think everything that's left is structural components. So let's come on down here, and I want to grab the nose cap. I'm going to be putting 2 nose caps on, and then braking engines. Okay, then coming over here, let's go ahead and just grab a porthole really quick. And then since I'm looking at portholes anyways, put one over here. And then I'm going to place on top here the Taio mid cap. So for the mid cap, I'm going to be putting it right there, and as you can see, I'm just flipping it into place over the cargo holds. So for the flip glitch, you do need to have it existing elsewhere outside of the ship. So just slapping all these ones that I'm going to be putting on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and flipped. 1, 2, 3, 4, and flipped. Okay, and that is all in place. Shifting on over to this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Alright, and this one has decided it wants to do this. So, rather than fighting it, we are instead going to go ahead and do the duplication glitch. So for that, I'm going to select these three. You can do it 3 at a time or 1 at a time. I'm stacking this up right here, hovering over the bottom, and then pressing Alt-G to duplicate, and then hitting space to go ahead and leave it where it is. Then just push that down, hit cancel, and then it's going to move them all down. Now sometimes it will go ahead and just say, oh hey, you want to move down, and it moves all of them down. Sometimes it does like this, and I have no idea why. Alright. Oh, it's complaining that I need my weapon assigned. I see. Alright. Then we just have a little bit more of structural work to do back here. First things first, let's add our last porthole. And then I'm going to come on over here, scrolling all the way down until I get to the tile nose cap, switching the rear variant, copying it, and then flip, and it's in place. Over here, flip, and in place. Alright, now that I've got all of that, the last bit of greebling that I've got on this ship is I had put a little set of cowlings here. And then, so you can see I had 2 cowlings. And you can see here 928 mass, 26 light years jump range, because these are 4 mass each, but the middle variant is 3 mass, and saving that 1 mass puts me at that 27 light years jump range. So I wanted to put more windows on this ship, but I ran out of space for it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to flip this to this variant, put this here, flip, flip, cancel, and that is the ship. So you can see we've got a little bit over almost 1,200 cargo, still 50 plus mobility, and our 27 light year jump range. So that was the goals that I had going into this ship. Now, let's go ahead and paint it. So as mentioned, I had put the paints in my palettes earlier. So I chose kind of darkish blues for my first 2 colors. Very, very similar colors there. This was not a deliberate choice to make them similar colors. I just went for the same general range and then didn't care if they were exact. Then for color 3, I went with kind of an electric blue here. At least I was going for electric blue. Whether or not it actually looks like that, who knows. So that is it for the entire ship. And then to let it stand out some, select these middle components here. And basically everything down this middle line, including the window. And these are all getting colored this golden color. And there we go. That is the Iteron. So, now that we've seen how it's built, and it started raining on me, let's go take this ship out to space. And get a few pictures. there we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.